Hey guys, it's Jen and Carrie from Homestead How. Welcome to our homestead.
In today's episode, we're sitting in front of our wood-burning stove and we're going to talk about 30 different ways to reuse your firewood ash. Stop wasting your firewood ash. One of the reasons we're doing this video is because we did one last year called Stop Wasting Your Firewood Ash, and it's got over
1 million views?
Almost 1 million views.
Almost.
Not quite 1 million views. Maybe by the time you watch this video, it'll have 1 million views. But in that video, we asked people, how do you reuse your firewood ash? And we have 1,600 comments on how people reuse their firewood ash. We're not gonna bore you with a big long list. We're gonna go over and highlight the best ideas out of those 1,600 in today's video. So I'm gonna start it off here with number 1, and this is one we talked about in the past and we've done ourselves, fireplace glass cleaner.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we need to do that ourselves right now. I did this last year. I'll show a little clip for it.
Yep.
And it worked really, really well. You mix the ash up with a little bit of water and it creates a paste and you clean the glass and it's amazing how good of a job it does. We've had this thing for 5 years. We've cleaned it with standard cleaners you buy at the store,
Yeah.
and it never came out clean.
Never does it what it does, yeah.
I'll show you the clip because the picture will tell the story better than I can hear with my words.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That was number 1. You got number 2.
Yeah, glass stove cleaner. We have a glass stove top, and I sit there for hours and scrub and scrub and scrub and use commercial products that does not clean it. So you do the same thing as this, take a little bit of the ash, make sure you're not getting charcoal or anything in it, make a paste, put it on, let it sit, and then you scrub it, and it works much better than the traditional.
Right, so when you go to clean this and you make up your little paste, head right on over to the stovetop and clean that off too. We're due for both of those, by the way, so that's something Jen and I are gonna be working on.
Yep.
Number 3, this was a really cool one. This was a new one to us. Boost your chicken's laying power. This was Lisa over at Fresh Eggs Daily suggested this on her site, and she says use the wood ash to supplement your flock's feed. Just use a little bit. She suggests using 1% ratio of ash to their feed, and she said this can also help reduce the smell coming from the chicken leftover manure. What's a nice way to say that?
From their vent.
From the poop. It makes the poop not smell as bad. That was number 3.
Number 4 is freshen up your fridge or freezer. We've done this. This is one of the ones that we've done already. You take a little bit of ash, you put it in like a mason jar or something, you put it in the fridge, you put it in the freezer, and it definitely helps taking out the smell. Number
5, this was the one that surprised me last time, and we got a lot of comments out of those 1,600 comments on this one that said, my grandma used to do this. You use the wood ash as toothpaste. Yes, you can even brush your teeth with wood ash. And I could definitely see how that works. Like I said, when we cleaned the glass off here, I was amazed at how well that worked with very little effort. So that was a very popular comment we got, toothpaste.
I don't know if I would do it yet though.
Yeah, I'm not ready, but maybe if we run out of toothpaste, if things go south and we can't go to the grocery store and buy toothpaste anymore,
right,
we'll go to the wood ash.
Yeah.
All right, Jen, you got number 6?
Number 6 is correct acidic soil, which could be for us too with our gardening. It failed this year pretty bad, so I mean you could put some in your soil. I would do a soil test first before you do anything, kind of get an estimate of what your soil is and what it needs. So if you need like acidic to it, you can put some on.
If you need a little bit more acid, yeah, do a pH test on your soil before you do it. But that was one of the more popular comments we had. And so we're talking about the garden there. Another one is your compost. Add some ash to your compost, supercharge your compost with a little bit of ash.
Going with the gardening, you need, if you have snails or slugs in your garden, which we did, unfortunately, I found some in there. I just threw my hens in there and they ate it all. But if you want to do that, you can use your ash and put it around your plants that you have, and then that will keep them from going in and eating your plants. So that's a really good, another money-saving tip. Instead of going out to the store and buying commercial things, it's organic, you have it already on hand, just put it around your plants.
Yep, and in that vein, we're still in the garden area with the ash tips. Save your crops from frost damage. So when the temperature starts to dip in the fall, so if you got a cold night coming up, you can take some ash. Oh God, not that again. Another great use of ash. If you have a cold night coming up and you're worried about frost damage in the garden, you can use ash as an insulator around some of your plants to help prevent them from freezing.
Right. It's
So
really
those were the
important.
garden tips.
So the dust bathing. So your chickens, they need dust bathings to get bugs and stuff off of them. So we have sand, but if you also mix the ash with the sand, that'll definitely help them as well.
We did that last winter, because there was snow everywhere. Our sand was
Right.
covered. We took some ash out by the chicken coop and we made a little dust bath outside of it so they could go down, and they did it. I think we had some video of that too. It was kind of cool. So that was a dust bath for your chickens. Another one kind of on the same area is dust powder protection for your animals. So you can actually put a little bit of dust even on your dog, but maybe on your goats or sheeps or cows, and it'll help them. It can kill fleas, and it can prevent other insects and mites and things from bothering them. So you can put it in their coat, rub it into their coat.
That's a good one, especially going into winter. The fleas and the ticks, they're dying off outside, but they want to go somewhere warm. So if they're on your animal, you want to make sure that you're going to put it on them. And again, it's organic. You're not going to hurt your animals. You can wash it off really easily, so it's not going to hurt them if you do it. I'd rather do that than go out and buy really expensive, medicine for the dog. So it's a really good tip. 12 is deodorizing your chicken coop. Everybody who has chicken coops, it doesn't smell the best. So throw some in there, however you're doing your chicken coop. We've tried some sand, we've tried kitty litter, we've tried hay, everything. It all works, but sometimes, if you have so many chickens, we have, I think it's 9 or 10 chickens right now, there's a lot of poo on the ground. So to make it smell a little bit better in there, I would suggest throwing some ash in there. But as always, no matter when you use the ash, you want to make sure it's cooled down. So it takes a couple days, and you kind of have to like rustle it up and kind of let the air get in and cool it down. You don't want to throw it in there and then burn your chickens or even your chicken coop down, but it's a good way to deodorize it.
So that was number 12, and then in the same vein of reducing animal smells, control your litter box odor.
Yeah.
So you can, the ash is really odor absorbing, just like you use it in your refrigerator. So it used to be the original cat litter was wood ash, which is kind of interesting. So you could use that in addition to the litter you have in your litter box, maybe put a little bit in there, but that will get rid of some of the odors from your litter box.
Yeah. Number 14, if you live in the country, even if you're in the city, there are bound to be skunks, right? Fortunately, we've never had a skunk encounter. Right, if your dog or cat or whatever encounters a skunk, you can put some dust on them rather than using the traditional tomato soup or something and getting really messy and nasty.
Yeah, so those were some animal tips, and now we're moving into maybe some more indoor tips. This one is keep your silver shining.
Yeah.
So kind of in the same way you can use it for a cleaner for the glass, you can mix up some of the fluffy white ash with some water, make a little bit of a paste, put it on the silver, let it sit for a couple minutes before you wipe it off, and you'll have some nice shiny silver.
As always though, test it out, make sure it works. We don't have any silver here, but I know my aunt always uses a lot of polishing on hers. So I mean, if you have silver, try it out on something and then go from there. But it was a really good tip that one of our viewers gave us, so we're throwing it out there. And then number 16 is make soap. This was, I think, the number one thing that people were telling us is, hey, you guys can make soap, you can make soap. This summer went by so quickly, we did not have a chance to even try it yet, but you can make soap out of it. The lye that you get off of it can burn you, so you have to be very careful with it. So do your research before you make it, but if you want soap that you can use on your homestead and you know that you made, it's a great way to use your ash.
Yeah, that's how it's been done for ages, is they would make lye from ash and turn that into soap. But like Jen said, be careful because it is caustic and it can cause burns. Number 17, if you have a pond, prevent pond algae. Give your aquatic plants the upper hand by feeding them potassium-rich wood ash. So it can really help out, kind of how it helps with your garden, it can help with your pond too, and it can prevent some algae. That was another tip we got quite a few comments on.
Yep, number 18 says repel mice and other household pests. So that's a good one. Unfortunately, we live in the country, we have some mice around here, you just want to sprinkle some around some areas that you might see them, and then that will deter them away from where they are going.
And it's a good alternative instead of just immediately going to like the mice poison, which is dangerous, and if you have pets and things like that, it's a non-poisonous, more natural method, and it's free. So repel mice in another household was 18. Number 19. This one was kind of crazy, and we had a couple comments on this. Protect your fine fabrics like wool. You can actually, and blankets from moth damage. So you give them a little bit of a dust bath with the ash, just using a little bit of it, and apparently that can help with moth damage. So
it would be so much better than the moth stuff
yeah,
that
those
they
mothballs
have.
stink.
Oh my gosh, those are awful. I remember my aunt had those, and yeah, I would definitely rather use the dust than those mothballs because those really smell bad.
They do. This next one is all yours. Shampoo. That's your department.
I don't know, girls. Have you ever tried this before? Dry shampoo? I mean, I've used dry shampoo, but I've never used ash as a dry shampoo. I kind of worry I'm getting older and I don't want to ruin my hair, but it says that the wood ash has been used as a dry shampoo long before the days of lather, rinse, and repeat. So I'm willing to give it a try, but have any of you ever tried this out? I've done obviously the shampoo and the conditioner. I've done the dry shampoo, but I've never done wood ash in my hair. I guess it kind of would help. It would get the, the oils and stuff out of your hair. So yeah, I'm willing to give it a try, but have any of you? I don't know.
A lot of these are really fun. Like I'm seeing comments like this and I would never have even known that. So we're learning a lot with this too. A lot of these things with ash have been done for generations before us. So we're so spoiled as modern Americans. We just go get some shampoo and some toothpaste, but it was used a lot back in the day. Here's another interesting one that came through. Wound care. Wood ash has been used to treat wounds for centuries. I didn't know that either. So if you're in a tough spot, there's antibacterial properties in ash that can be used to speed clotting. So again, not something I would just try normally if I just cut myself today, but if we were out in a survival situation out in the woods and we had a campfire going and cut myself, that could be an option. Or under like a crap hit the fan scenario where you can't go to the grocery store, you run out of Band-Aids and regular wound care items, it's always an option. So that was an interesting one. We had a few comments on that one as well. That was 21.
Yeah, and 22 is deodorant. I don't know. I have to try this one out too. But it says the deodorant is a great way, and this is a great news for hunters looking to mask their smell. So I don't know. I guess that's more you. I'm not a hunter. But it's saying that you can mask the smell if you just take some ash and kind of rub it on your body or under your armpits, whatever, and get rid of any human smell that we may have.
Yeah, just try to keep it, avoid getting in your eyes is the main thing, but.
Right.
So that was a cool one. And then 23, fire extinguisher. This is a really good one. Ash makes an inexpensive fire extinguisher. And the good thing is you usually have ash around the fire.
Right.
You can't see it in the shot here, but we have a bucket that we put our ash in. We let it cool down and then we take it out to the garden or we reuse it for all of these purposes. So we always have a bucket of ash nearby, and if we also have a fire extinguisher too, just for extra safety. But if there ever were a fire or we needed to put out a fire, maybe some of the log fell on the ground or something, you could sprinkle the ash on it and it will put it out.
Yeah, so number 24, I guess that's more you again. You're
grill cleaner. Yeah, I haven't tried this one yet and I want to. If you guys watch our channel, you know we got the Yoder smoker and we've been smoking up some delicious food in there. The only thing I don't like about the smoker or any grill, and it's just because I'm lazy, is you got to clean that thing out really good. Especially that grill. It's such a nice grill. I want to take good care of it and make it last a long time. And the cleaning the grates is always the tough part. So I'm going to try this one. Same idea as this and the silver. You create a little paste with the ash and water and you can clean off your grill grates.
So number 25 is save seeds for next year. So I never really thought about this, but you have to watch out where you put your seeds for next year. So yeah, so for the seeds, if you're gonna put it in a container, I mean, keep it in the package that it's in, but also put some ash at the bottom of it and it will keep your seeds dry and away from moisture. And then you can put it in a dark spot for next year, but it's also a really good idea to keep your seeds safe for next year.
Yep, sop up oil spills in the garage. We did this one. This was one of our suggestions in our video and other people said the same thing. It works really, really well. I've got a couple oil stains in there right now. You sprinkle a little bit of the ash on there and you sweep it right up. Leave it on there for a while and it absorbs it. It's kind of like cat litter, but it's free. And the cool thing with the ash is it's basically the same color as the cement. Right. So I'm going to skip to 27, which is besides absorbing oil spills, it also hides stains in concrete, which is true. So hopefully you can absorb most of the oil with the ash, but if you still have a little bit of a stain there and you wipe it down with some more ash, it seems to cover and hide that stain pretty well because it's the exact same color.
Number 28, this would have been good to know this summer because in our deer fencing out there, I planted some stuff and there was a huge anthill. I've never seen one that big before. And unfortunately, they're all the red ants. So they're the fire ants that bite you and That was awful. So it says number 28 is encourage ants to relocate. So if you sprinkle some on there, they're gonna go away because they can't move the ash. So they have no other choice than to relocate somewhere else. So it's a really good thing if you have something around your house or even around your plants or anything. You just sprinkle a little bit around, like a circle around something, or even on top of their anthill. They're not gonna have any choice but to move. So it's a really good
Yeah, and
idea.
the thing I like about that one too is it's not toxic and it's not poisonous. You're not going to buy a bunch of chemicals and pouring it all over there, especially there where it's in our garden area. We don't want to put that in there, so it's just some natural ash. 29, pet safe ice melt. This was a really good one. We did this in our video.
Yeah.
We've got this one area by the front of our property, a little pad of cement, and the corner of it always gets icy. So instead of putting a bunch of salt down there, just be cautious. So if you're going to do that, be careful and make sure you have a no shoe policy in your house, because otherwise people may track that in the house. That's the only downfall with that one. On the flip side, if you use salt, you could walk through the salt and drag that through your house as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, good way to get rid of ice, not hurt your pet's paws.
So number 30 is put some in your car. This is a really good thing if you're out on the road somewhere and you're slipping and your tires are not getting any traction. We put it in our car last year and it actually really did work.
Yeah.
We just put a little mason jar in the back of the
Actually, it was
trunk.
like a little, I think it was a peanut container. It was a little plastic container, so it was like safe, and it's just a little container in the back, and we did use it.
Yeah, you just sprinkle it behind your tire and it actually gives you traction.
Gives you some good traction. It'll melt the ice if it's out there a little bit too long, and just a little container was all we needed.
I'm sure there's many more ideas, and thank you to everybody who left all those comments. That really does help, especially us when we're learning from this yet. We hope this video helped you out and does help you out in the future. We're definitely going to be trying some more of these.
Yeah, leave a comment down below.
Keep them coming. Yeah,
I know there's 30 ideas here, but I bet you guys have more. Or if some of these ideas don't work for you, or you do a different variation of it, please leave a comment down below. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and thanks a lot for watching.